Hey there, and welcome to Tell Me More, the podcast where real people share real stories. I'm Rebecca, and each week I sit down with students, entrepreneurs, and business professionals from all walks of life to hear their unfiltered experiences, struggles, wins, and everything in between. So, let's get comfy and tell me more. So, for our first ever episode on the Tell Me More podcast, we have Abbie. Abbie, we're going to jump right in. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to pursue nursing?
For sure, yeah. So I started with a degree in exercise and wellness. I really love health and being active.
Mhm.
But I took a long path towards actually becoming a nurse. I was gonna become an occupational therapist and felt like I didn't really love it. I was like doing it kind of for the wrong reasons. So I started working in health insurance and then I worked in property and casualty insurance. So I was gonna start my own business and work with like wealthy clients. Anyways, long story short, it's a lot of work behind a computer, and so I didn't want to do that. I realized I like to be active and on my feet and interacting with people. Um, and I found that nursing was a good fit kind of for my lifestyle.
Well, it definitely sounds like it. I think that even though your path took a few turns that you didn't really expect it to take, I think all the experiences that you've gained along the way have really helped you to progress to where you are now. So the next question I have is, was there a specific moment or experience that made you say, this is the path for me?
Yeah, I think it was after I did my insurance job behind the computer. But I also saw that there's a lot of growth in nursing.
Mhm.
So it gives you like a very stable job. I was doing sales at one point too, and I love door-to-door sales, but it's like you get a sale and you're high, and then you have to work really hard and it's low. It's emotionally kind of taxing. And so I wanted something that was more salary, and
Mhm.
nursing is that way. Plus, you can like get a nursing degree, then you can become like a nurse practitioner and make more money. You can get certificates. There's just a lot of financial growth with it.
Mhm. And sounds like there's like a lot more like growth options in general.
Yeah,
That is so
like
awesome.
lots, like different like specialties.
Mhm.
And I mean, I don't know how much you know, but you can become a nurse anesthetist. It's like a pain
Wow.
management, and they make over like two to $300,000. So
Wow.
like times that by what, 10 in rands?
Yeah. Like, well, at the moment it's about 18. It's quite a bit.
Oh, 18, that's way a lot. Yeah.
Okay. And so where are you currently studying, and what year are you in?
I am actually not in classes right now.
Hmm.
I just took a couple prerequisites at a technical college,
Okay.
but I will start technical college in, I think it's October for my program.
That is so cool. Are you excited?
Yeah, in some ways, yes. In some ways, I've done it before, and it's like a
Yeah.
little bit boring. But just the fact that I think a lot of people will be younger than me is not my favorite. But um, I think it will be fun. I love the content, so
Yeah, that's so cool.
yeah.
Okay. And so what has been the most rewarding part of, oh, you said you went to technical school, so going to that and your previous studies, what has been the most rewarding part so far?
So I did a CNA certification to see if I would like nursing. It's like a nursing assistant, and it was at this same college that I want to go to.
Hmm.
The teachers were so thorough.
Hmm.
Like as a CNA, you wipe a lot of people's bums, right?
Yeah.
And I have a specific memory of a teacher saying, like, you do not leave an ounce of poop on this person's bum, or you think of my face. But like the norms in like CNA work are really low. Like
Okay.
people don't get sufficient care, and it's just awful.
Hmm.
So I just really liked the teachers. Like they just really, really care about the patients. I
Hmm.
thought they were so thorough. So
That is so cool. I did not know
yeah.
that, but that is really cool. And I'm glad
Yeah.
they also thorough. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, and what has been the most challenging part that you faced?
Um, in schooling or in like what?
Yeah, in schooling, whatever your path kind of that has led you to schooling, and nursing, what has been kind of the most challenging?
I would say the timetable. Like I'm 30 going back to school, you know?
Hmm.
And it's like I don't know, like my friends are in different places.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it necessarily. It's just like it would have been cooler if I had figured this out a long time ago.
Yes, definitely get that. But I also have to commend you. I mean, with those thoughts in your mind, you still are going back and you're still doing and studying what you would want to do. So well done to
Oh,
you.
thank you. Thank you. Sweet.
So this is kind of looking forward a bit for when you are, back in school and technical college. But in the past and going forward, how do you think you manage your stress and the long study hours that go along with them?
Just like being really organized. I
Hmm.
have a phone calendar,
Okay,
so I just keep everything there and make sure I plan ahead of time.
that's a really good
Um,
idea.
I think it helps that I've been through college before, so like I know generally how long an assignment will take me and things like that.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
But yeah,
that's really cool. So now you're like extra prepared for coming up now.
yeah. I,
Um,
I think if you've gone through BYU, you can do anything. BYU Provo is really hard.
a lot of students from there, and they're like talking about it, and they're like, wow, some of it's like really great years, but it is some hard studies times.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay, so what are some misconceptions that you think that people might have about nursing school or nurses in general?
So when I started at BYU, my
Hmm.
parents were like, you should do nursing. Like I had family friends, they thought I'd be good at it. I was like, no, because this is gonna sound judgmental, but it's just reality. The girls that were in the nursing program at BYU were not like me at all. Like they were like bleach blonde hair, they look good, they're the cool girls. They like it seemed like they had perfect grades. I don't know if that's true. And I was like, I just don't fit in. I didn't think I fit in. I didn't think I was good enough. And so there's like, I think it's in the medical world in general, like some really high achieving people. And
Yeah,
I think you just can't let that scare you.
yeah, definitely. No, I agree. For myself, when I was like going into business, I was like, you can see these people who have like really made it and they look fantastic and all of that. And you're like, will I ever actually be able to be like that? Because it doesn't really seem like me. Um, but I think, yeah, exactly what you said. We can't let what we see in others because we don't actually know what they're going through and what they really are like type of idea. Let that image of them like scare us away from doing something that could potentially bring us like a ton of joy in our lives.
I agree.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
has your view on healthcare or the nursing profession changed since you started school?
For sure. Like it's a business, you know?
Hmm.
It's one thing. It's like, oh, I thought that the medical world was like, I don't know, not perfect, but like the hospital or
Hmm.
I just thought that care was better. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of places where it isn't, sadly.
Okay.
So that's part of why I like enjoy it is I
Hmm.
see myself as someone who cares.
Yeah.
So I can make a difference and I can be in leadership and really like advocate for change.
Yeah, definitely. That's really cool. I didn't really know that there wasn't like as much care going into it because you always think like especially in like the TV shows and all of that, it's like these are people who really care about you, they want the best for you. And it's interesting to hear you explain it. It's like more like a business for some people than like health care. How do you stay motivated when things get a bit overwhelming, either with studies in the past or, sometimes life can just seem overwhelming in general. So, what keeps you motivated when times like that happen?
Um, like I think I've kind of mentioned before, I have definitely been more overwhelmed before.
Yeah.
So like BYU was so busy. People tell me nursing school is going to be crazy, but I did my CNA at MTech where I'm going to be going, and
Hmm.
it wasn't so bad. Um, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess I just know my limits.
Hmm.
I just have to be aware, like, and not go in with like too much on my plate.
Yeah.
With work, some semesters I can't work, I just have to know like I'm gonna have to have this much money set aside so I don't have to do that.
Oh, that's a really great way of thinking about balancing and knowing your limits and all. So, what idea of nursing are you most interested in right now? Like, you kind of mentioned some parts of leadership and type of things. So, what are you most looking forward to in nursing?
That's a great question. I kind of like it all. So,
That's good because then it doesn't really matter where you go. You'll be
yeah,
happy.
yeah, to some extent. I've been working in assisted living and there's a lot of people dying, which is can be hard sometimes, especially when they're like really close to me.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I will be there too much longer.
Yeah.
But I could see myself in pediatrics working with kids.
Hmm.
I mean, that's one of the great things about nursing is it's incredibly flexible.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know, if you don't like the trauma stuff, you can work in a school and there's a lot of stability and you can build relationships that way.
Hmm.
Um, or like it, some people really like the like adrenaline rush of like the ER.
Yeah.
I haven't tried the ER personally. I'm not sure I would love it, but I am also not sure. I've never
Yeah.
tried it. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't even know where I'm gonna go next. I think maybe like you're making me think. What's it called? Like surgery for athletes,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
like orthopedic surgery, I
Yeah.
could see myself in.
That would be so cool. And that you get to meet a lot of athletes that way as well. That would also be awesome. And it kind of
Mhm.
actually ties into when you studied like sports at the beginning and all of that nutrition and sports, kind of like goes back that way to like working with athletes again. That's really cool.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, and so do you have a dream job that you would like to work like at after graduation? Or what is your dream job?
So maybe this is for the wrong reasons, but being a nurse anesthetist would make me really good money.
Yeah.
I don't know if I haven't really tried it yet. It's a
Hmm.
lot of working with people who are sleeping.
Okay.
So that might not be my favorite, but I do hear there is some patient interaction like before you put them under and after.
Hmm.
Um, I always wanted to work in a children's hospital.
Hmm.
So I'm actually still working on that. I want to get in as a CNA
Okay, yeah.
currently.
And after you have completed your nursing degree and certificates, are you thinking about furthering your education? And have you thought about like becoming a midwife or something like that?
Yeah, so definitely furthering my education. There's so many options, literally,
Mhm.
like over 20 different things you can do.
That is crazy.
I did think though, I would love to be a NICU nurse.
Oh yeah, that would be so cool.
I
I can
think
see.
that's probably my dream.
That would be so amazing. I think that you would do an amazing job with the
Thank
the
you.
kids in there. What advice would you give to someone just starting in nursing school?
Yeah, like just don't be afraid of the overly ambitious people or I don't know. I guess I would say that.
Don't let the people scare you off.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good nurses out there too. I have a lot of friends who are nurses.
Hmm.
I think at that point they already kind of know all the benefits of nursing, so I'm not sure I would tell them again, but I guess yeah, when I do see nurses though, like who are just starting college, I always tell them, you made a good choice. Like this is very practical for
Yeah.
a job.
Yeah, that's some great advice as well. Things. But what is something about you that people might be surprised to learn?
I really like making quilts.
Okay.
I
That's
love
pretty
bright modern quilts.
wow. And like I've seen like quilted jackets are quite a big thing as well. Have you like seen anything like
Those
that?
are cute. I like those. Those are fun. Yeah.
That is so cool and practical and keep you very warm.
Yeah, I wanted to make one of those recently, but then our winter ended, so it became.
Yeah,
But yeah, I love hobbies. I have tons of hobbies.
that is so cool. I've never taken up quilting personally, but I've always seen it and I'm like, yeah, it looks like something I could be interested in doing. But I feel like it also could be one of those projects that I start and then I just like don't actually finish it. Um, because it looks like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
But I bet at the end you feel like relieved, like you've done something. So that's really cool. If you could go back and give yourself some advice for your first day of school, what would it be?
My first day ever of college.
Yeah.
I think I would have loved, like, it would have benefited me most to not go to college right after my mission. I started an LDS mission.
Okay.
Um, to just work and see what the real world is like.
Hmm.
Because I got a degree that kind of took me nowhere
Yeah.
financially. And I didn't really understand what a good job is,
Hmm.
you know? So I think if I had more real world experience, I would have just chosen something, yeah, that got me a job. I
Yeah.
would have been I would have been done a while ago. But yeah.
But thank you so much for coming and answering questions and just talking and getting to know you. It has been awesome. Um, and is there anything that you would like to share further? Anything at all, like for the people listening or watching or anything?
Yeah, I would say it's good to get out there in the real world and explore your career interests in real life,
Hmm.
like before school. I did a ton of different jobs, and they helped me like grow as a person as
Yeah,
well as find what I needed eventually. So I guess
some
that's my advice.
that is very good advice. I definitely agree. Well, thank you, Abby, for being on the very first episode of the Tell Me More podcast. Can't wait to see how far you go and check back with you in a few months to see how much you have accomplished. Well, thank you to all our viewers and listeners, and we are excited to start this journey on our brand new podcast, Tell Me More.